Mama Gump said that stupid is as stupid does. President Putin is not interested in peace. If you want respect, act respectfully. If you want to be taken seriously, act seriously. He said, I want China to be part of the negotiations, and India, and Brazil, and South Africa. And get this will curdle your lunch, North Korea. And I think how most Americans look at this situation, I think to myself, my mama didn't raise a fool. And if she did, it was one of my brothers. I see what Putin's doing. He's not serious here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, your home for truth, freedom, and good American common sense. Today, we're diving into some fiery comments from one of the few senators with the backbone to call it like it is, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. His takedown of Vladimir Putin during peace talks with President Trump is making waves, and I couldn't agree more with the senator's righteous outrage. So, let's talk about what's really going on here and why Kennedy's words should wake up every freedom-loving American. Buckle up, patriots, because we're about to call it like it is.
Senator from Louisiana.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to spend a few minutes first, Madam President, talking about Russia. To get respect, you have to act respectfully. To be taken seriously, you have to act seriously. We know that. It's a matter of common sense. President Putin in Russia is not acting with respect toward the United States of America or President Trump. President Putin is not acting seriously. I don't know a single fair-minded person with an IQ above his age who doesn't want peace in Ukraine. Could we have order, Madam President? Thank you, Madam President. We all want to see peace in Ukraine. President Zelensky wants to see peace in Ukraine. President Trump wants to see peace in Ukraine. I thought President Putin did. I'm beginning to wonder. President Trump, who is leading these negotiations, first asked for a ceasefire. He said for 30 days, maybe 45, 60 days, I'm asking both Russia and Ukraine to lay down their arms. President Putin said, no, I won't agree to a blanket ceasefire, but I will stop bombing infrastructure in Ukraine. He lied like he breathed. He continued to destroy civilian infrastructure in Ukraine. Then President Trump said, okay, let's try for a ceasefire in the Black Sea. That would benefit both Ukraine and Russia, who both of which use the Black Sea for maritime commerce. And indeed, the world depends on a lot of the grain that they both export. So President Trump said, let's try for a ceasefire in the Black Sea and maritime security in the Black Sea. President Zelensky said, sure, I'm with you. Just like he'd said previously, I agree to a ceasefire, Mr. President. President Putin said, I'll agree to a ceasefire in the Black Sea, but I want conditions. I want conditions. And you know what his conditions are? To have the United States of America remove the sanctions on the Russian economy. And then, to make matters worse, President Putin said, oh, by the way, I have one other condition. I want to put the people of Ukraine and the government of Ukraine under the administration of the United Nations. In other words, he wants the people of Ukraine to give up their democratic form of government and be run by the United Nations. And then finally, President Putin said to President Trump, oh yeah, there's one other thing too. Before I'll agree to a ceasefire in the Black Sea, or a ceasefire generally, I don't want to just negotiate with you, President Trump, President Putin said. He said, I want China to be part of the negotiations, and India, and Brazil, and South Africa. And get this, this will curdle your lunch, North Korea. Mama Gump said that stupid is as stupid does. President Putin is not interested in peace. President Putin thinks President Trump took the bullet train to Chumptown. President Putin, I can tell you how I look at this, and I think how most Americans look at this situation. I think to myself, my mama didn't raise a fool, and if she did, it was one of my brothers. I see what Putin's doing. He's not serious here. I would take that back. I would firmly suggest to President Putin, if you want peace, stop treating President Trump and the American people like a bunch of chumps. Stop it. If you want respect, act respectfully. If you want to be taken seriously, act seriously. Because his conduct toward President Trump's hand of peace has been despicable. It would gag a maggot.
Now, that is what I'm talking about. Senator Kennedy hit the nail on the head. Respect isn't something that's handed out like participation trophies. It's earned. And Vladimir Putin, that guy wouldn't know respect if it hit him, like a freight train. He's over there treating peace talks like some sort of bad joke. This isn't just disrespectful to President Trump. It's disrespectful to the United States of America and to every single person who values freedom and democracy. How much more of this nonsense are we supposed to take? He lied like he breathed. Couldn't have said it better myself, Senator Kennedy. Putin's word is worth about as much as a counterfeit dollar. President Trump, in good faith, offered an olive branch, a ceasefire to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine and give both sides a chance to find common ground. But what does Putin do? He spits in America's face and keeps bombing Ukrainian infrastructure. This isn't just a slap in the face to Ukraine. It's a slap in the face to every nation that stands for freedom. And let's be honest here, folks. Putin isn't just lying to Trump. He's lying to the entire world. China? North Korea? Are you kidding me? Let me get this straight. Putin thinks we need to invite a communist dictatorship and a rogue nuclear state to the table to negotiate peace? That's like inviting the foxes to guard the henhouse. This is classic Putin, folks. He's not interested in peace. He's interested in stalling, deflecting, and shifting blame. And let me tell you something. The idea that we would even entertain the thought of letting North Korea or China have a say in these talks is absolutely insane. That's not diplomacy. That's surrender. Placing Ukraine under UN administration? Give me a break. What Putin is really saying here is that he wants to strip Ukraine of its sovereignty. He wants to crush their democracy and turn them into a puppet state under international control. And let's not forget, the United Nations isn't exactly known for being a bastion of strength and integrity. This is a blatant power grab, plain and simple. And you know what, patriots? If we don't stand up to this kind of tyranny now, we're setting a dangerous precedent for the future. Stupid is as stupid does. You've got to love Senator Kennedy's way with words. But let's be real, this isn't just stupidity on Putin's part. This is arrogance. This is a dictator who thinks he can strong-arm the greatest nation on earth. And why does he think that? Because for years, weak leaders and globalist elites have let him get away with it. Well, guess what, Vladimir? The days of rolling over for bullies like you are over. President Trump isn't playing your games, and neither are the American people. Here's the bottom line, folks. Vladimir Putin doesn't want peace. He wants control. He's not negotiating in good faith. He's trying to manipulate the situation to get what he wants. And the saddest part? There are people out there, right here in our own country, who are willing to let him do it. They'll criticize Trump, they'll criticize Kennedy, but they won't say a word about Putin's lies or his despicable behavior. Well, I'm not afraid to say it. Vladimir Putin is a thug, and he needs to be treated like one. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, why does this matter to us? Why should we care about what's happening in Ukraine? Here's why. Because freedom isn't free. If we let dictators like Putin run wild, if we let them trample on democracy and bully smaller nations, what's stopping them from coming after us next? This isn't just about Ukraine. It's about sending a message that the United States will always stand for freedom and never back down from a fight. Senator Kennedy said it best. If Putin wants respect, he needs to act respectfully. And if he doesn't, well, he can take a hike. Because we're not going to let him, or anyone else, treat America like a bunch of chumps. This is the greatest country in the world, and we will always stand up for what's right. So to Senator Kennedy, thank you for speaking the truth. And to all the patriots out there watching, stay strong, stay vigilant, and never stop fighting for freedom. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.